So today I'm doing a fall meatloaf with lentils and brown rice. You can also use this using a boca, I think it's boca meat crumbles or any sort of vegan um, meat that you have. So I'm starting out with the brown rice. I've already cooked it according to the bag's instructions. You need about 2 cups of brown rice. Now I'm moving on to the onion. The recipe specifically that I referred to called for 1 cup of chopped onion, but if you don't like onion, you can omit this. I'm just using the rest of the onion that I had, which came to be about, I would say, maybe half a cup of onions. So just, mix and match with the specific instructions and ingredients to what you would like. Next, we're going to go for the lentils. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of lentils. I'm just going to use this entire can, but you can use freshly cooked lentils as well if you prefer. So I drained most of the liquid, but I saved a little bit left just to help sort of mash down the lentils. Now I'm just adding them to the rice like this. The moisture will get absorbed by the brown rice too, and it'll help it all just mix together a lot better. All right. Okay. So now that I have these two together, I'm going to mix them together with my spoon. Just, get it together nice and mixed. You can also use your hands later on. Now I'm adding the chopped onion to the mix. And I'm adding a little bit of salt. I'm not a big salt fan, so I'm just adding a pinch. You can add as much as you like, though. I'm adding some pepper now. I love pepper, so I'm adding a good deal, but you probably would just use maybe half a teaspoon or something. Adding a little bit of garlic powder for some extra flavor. Now I'm adding the ketchup in. The recipe calls for about half a cup of ketchup. I'm not big on measurements, I just tend to throw it straight in, so that's what I'm doing right here. And now I'm smushing this all together again with the spoon. You can also use your hands though, just make sure you clean them first and make sure you have paper towels nearby and ready. It's a lot like mixing together with your hands actual meatloaf with meat, just squishing all the ingredients together and getting that ketchup blended really well. Alright, don't mind my mom in the background, by the way. She was just washing some dishes. So, I have here just a clear baking pan, perfect for a loaf size, and I've already sprayed it with some canola nonstick spray. You can probably use butter or oil for this as well, or margarine or butter replacement, but I think the spray works best. Now I'm just going to load all of the rice and lentils, tomato, and onion mix all into the pan. Alright, now that it's all put in, I'm going to stick it in the oven, which has been preheated to 350, and I'm going to leave it in there for 45 minutes. Now, 45 minutes later, you'll see it's getting nice and crispy at the top. I'm going to take it out of the oven. You can also use breadcrumbs in this mix if you prefer for that sort of breadcrumb crunchiness to the meatloaf. Now I'm taking a pasta sauce. You can use tomato sauce or pasta sauce if you're choosing. I chose traditional, very nice and plain. I think that'll go best with this meatloaf. You don't want to add in any sort of crazy pasta sauce meant for pasta. So I'm using about half of a can, covering it with a decent about half an inch of pasta sauce on top. You can adjust this though to your preference. Now I'm going to put that right back into the oven for an additional 15 minutes. And once it's done, you can just cut yourself a slice, and as you can see, it came out actually looking a lot like real meatloaf. And the texture was similar too, although I'm sure the taste was very different. Next to that, I have a big blob, which is actually pesto mashed potatoes, which are quite delicious and went really great with this meatloaf. I really liked it. I don't really like